name wrong. Haviz, I couldn't quite hear what you said.
Okay, let me just move to quieter. I'm sorry. I just wanted to give everyone the opportunity to know that every Wednesday and Friday morning from 9 to 12, we have open volunteer hours for anyone from the community to come out to volunteer in the park. And we meet at the Van Cortlandt Golf House next to the lake.
That's awesome. Is there any volunteering in particular that will be taking place?
So we are doing trail work right now in the park during the winter season. And every week is a little different. It might be planting or raking or doing trail maintenance with the park department. So we have a variety of things we do. They keep us quite busy and with a variety of things.
That's awesome. Thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome.
So with that being said, I'm gonna start you off, Matt. You're gonna be the star of the show tonight. And so, are there any? Can you update us on our COVID protocols for our park usage?
There's nothing specific outside of the general stuff that we get from the health department.
All right.
So nothing is closed down. Everything is open, and the general masks and social distancing applies in parks as it does everywhere else in the city, as per the Department of Health. So we don't have anything specific here at parks that's different than anything you're hearing. All our parks are open. Everything is as it should be.
All right. I love the short and straight to the point answer. So as opposed to before, where we didn't have some type of social distancing where they took down basketball hoops. Am I correcting me if I'm wrong?
Correct. Those were closures. When we had those closures, we had to take those down to sort of force the people to abide or listen to the closures.
Okay.
So when we said all basketball courts are closed, the public doesn't really care whether it's closed or open, and we don't have fences around all basketball courts.
Right.
So they were still playing basketball. That was the height of the COVID closures. But yeah, everything is open.
Right.
And restored.
Right. I'm not trying to make a political reference or anything like that. Although I do many times, that wasn't one of them, and it's just trying to be transparent with the community. So despite the numbers going up, everything is 100% open.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Bond, can you please make note of that?
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much. All right. So that was easy. Can we're gonna save the RC Park probably last, because I don't know if we have anybody yet from the RC Park that's representing the RC Park. Is there anybody here from the RC Park, a representative from the RC Park?
Dan Six, are you from the park? Dan Six or Donna White?
Or Stacy? Oh no, we had O'Grant.
No, Stacy was here before.
Hi.
Hi. We did introductions, which is fine. It's fine that you're here. We love that you're here now. Are you here from the RC Park or from the community?
Community.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
All right. And I think Dan Six.
If you guys can hear us, you're muted. You'd have to unmute yourself.
Dan Six, if you can unmute, please. No, they didn't unmute yet. I don't know. Dan Six, can you hear us? Dan Six?
That's fine. It's fine. We'll move
Okay.
on.
Come here.
Move on. Thank you, Ms. Bond.
Mhm.
We also have my sister from another Mister. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Ms. Goldie.
Hey, Goldie.
Miss Dickerson?
She lives.
Good evening. Good evening. Sister from another mister. I like that. Oh my God. What a beauty. Alfredo, that is such a beauty you have with you. Good evening, everybody. Everybody knows who I am, except for a few people. I am the treasurer for Community Board 12, and I am also the chairman for the Education Committee. I thank you so much for having me. I'm loving you. I'm learning everything.
Thank you for being here. I'm trying to figure out how you remain that beautiful during these times.
Wow. Wow. Well,
And
let me just tell y'all that I think a big part of what's missing for my group, I mean, for my kids, we all know the kids need the parks. They need the outdoors. They need someplace to go. They are, or they have been, and some of them still are, you know, kept in the house and not allowed to go out. And so I appreciate y'all doing this. I really appreciate all and each and every one of you, John, Isaac, Nigeria, Fredo, Denise. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you for being here with us. Matt, I'm bringing it back to you. So that was easy, right? With RC Parks, which is, with RC Park, I'm going to make sure that they are here next meeting. They should have been here this meeting. We did reach out to them. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if there's any type of discouragement or anything like that. But the next meeting, I want to make the entire committee made aware that will be at the first and foremost top priority, because we've been trying to really address this. Especially, it would be nice to have it opened or have a conclusion for when this pandemic is over. So I'm tabling the RC Park for tonight unless somebody comes in. That's over with. With that being said, I'm turning it back over to Matt. And I just want to know about what are openings.
I want to comment on the RC Park stuff.
Uh-oh.
I want it on record showing that the RC Parks Committee has not been present in one of these meetings since November. So we are at Parks putting together a user agreement for that area. That goes along with our user agreements with anybody else that wants to put together a group and use a specific area of public land.
Okay.
So we're on board. We're going to allow it, and we're putting together something in writing that will allow the group to commence and to be active in the community. So that document is currently in our legal department. Of course, everything goes to my legal department before it gets released. As we're giving people sort of permitted use of public land. So I anticipate that should be complete by, I'm hoping, the next meeting or the weekend after.
I agree. I agree with that, Matt.
It's they're part of. I will say that part of the agreement states that there has to be active community members. That the group has to be active in the community. So,
Matt, I agree. I agree with you. I will do my due diligence in making sure that there is some type of representation. So to summarize, for those that are not privy to previous information, right? Because we're just happy that you're here and you're listening and you're participating. So with the RC Park, when I first was appointed to this board, about 5 years ago, it came, it came about where the RC Park, which has been a part of our community for many years, was going to be, I'm trying to think of the politically correct word, but it was going to be dismantled. But, and I felt that it was an amenity, it was a unique amenity to our community that nobody else had, and I didn't want to lose that. So I proposed that we build a maybe a BMX pump track, which we proposed to the Parks Department. Parks Department has been working on this with us for the last 5 years, and to the point where we were merely weeks from having it dismantled and not having it anymore due to legitimate reasons as to the runoff that goes into the river and so on and so forth. Again, I'm summarizing. I'm giving a brief summary, and we were fortunate enough that we had some people from our community step up and say that they were that they originated the BM not the BMS, the RC track, which we had, and they were willing to upkeep it and so on and so forth. The Parks Department with Matt, who we're speaking to tonight, our Parks Manager, Community Board 12 Parks Manager, was willing to collaborate, and right as of now, the plans have been falling short. So just to make you privy, if there's anybody has any questions right now as to my summary, feel free, because I do want to move on from the RC park.
Yeah, it's not falling short. It's we're going to grant usage to a group that's going to organize themselves and be stewards of the area. So that works for us.
Right, right. And with that being said, personally, I would have liked to see more, but I'm also grateful for whatever we can get. Right. So with that being said, moving on, are there any openings set?
No, we're not even close to an opening.
Okay.
Like I said, the documents are in my legal departments to have the final draft get done. At that point, it will be given to the group. Given to the group, and then it's the groups. It's not Community Board 12s. This is not a thing where it's going to fall on the Parks Committee for Community Board 12. It's going to fall on the particular group that wants to be stewards of that area and engage the community to promote their hobby, which is RC track.
No, so I'm not talking about the RC track. I'm talking about openings as far as renovations and things that we've done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Nothing coming up.
That's fine.
Everything was closed for most of COVID. So
pre-COVID, we had about three projects ready to be open by this summer. So it's safe to say that it's now been prolonged.
One of them might happen by the end of 2021, but it's not anywhere close. So,
Ms. Bond, can you please make note of that we won't be having any openings for 21.
Well, one might happen.
You said maybe one at the end. I guess, Matt, that will be in your report that you're going to give. So which one will be open at the end?
No,
maybe?
I can't comment on that. That's
okay.
all that stuff. So if anybody is interested in seeing where capital projects are, if you go onto Parks website, you could check the capital project tracker, which is on, and our website has so much stuff on it. You'd have to go onto the website and sort of navigate to capital projects, and there's a tracker that you could see where projects are. So I'll just refer people to that. As far as close capital projects that are coming out of construction, we don't have any that are close. Maybe by the end of the year, So we're in January, it's 2021. Maybe by the end of the year, but that determines on how our capital team is going to manage these projects and push these contractors along. So
Awesome. Thank you for that report.
Ivan, can I ask one question of Matt before we move on? Oh, I just have a quick question, Matt. In reference to the RC group, when you give them the documents that that's currently in your legal department, will you notify Community Board 12 so that
yes,
we
they
can
will.
just be informed, or will you just give it to them and that's it?
No, it'll go through the community board. It'll go through George's office.
Okay, so we'll be notified. Okay, thank you.
All right. So with that being said, is it safe to say that we don't have any new projects going on?
It's safe.
Okay, we're moving forward. All right. So
I don't think we have any that are upcoming, even to get kicked off to go into construction phase.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of where they are. Not only do I manage all the parks in Community Board 12, I also do it for all the parks along the Bronx River corridor and all of Community Board 11. So it's like the northeast corner of the Bronx. And yeah, there's none up here. There's a couple that are down in Community Board 11 area, but nothing going in construction in 12.
All right, we're on pace for our shortest meeting ever, right? Usually our meetings are very, we get a lot done. I'm not to say we didn't get a lot done tonight, but we're definitely on course for our shortest meeting. So with that being said, Matt, do you have anything to report?
No, nothing other than the stuff I have spoken on already.
All right. So now I take this opportunity to open it up to the floor. If anybody has anything pressing or anything that they want to celebrate or share their concern, I open it up to the floor, because I want to hear from you guys, everybody.
So Ivan
is the key. Yes.
I know on the agenda you have to discuss goals yes. for Bronx, for BxCB12 Parks Committee in 2021. So I'll yes. let you guys talk amongst yourselves. So let me just open it up to any questions that are specific to
That's what I was saying.
The Parks Department, and then I'll log.
That's why I was asking if anybody had any pressing concerns or anything like that. And then then Matt, you're free to go. Thank you so for your time. So is anybody from the community or in this meeting now has any concerns or celebrations or anything that they would like to express?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, hi. I just want to know, what area are you talking about? What area in the park, the RC project? Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so the RC park is right underneath between Gun Hill Road and Webster Avenue. Is it Webster or is it what street is that exactly?
I can pull
it's right over the overpass. Mm-hmm. And there's a little park there that was created by community members. I just want to give you a brief description overview. And what they do is they race a lot of fathers. They used to race their remote control cars in that park, and it has like dunes and ramps and things like that. And it was just awesome. It was just awesome to just see something different, other than not only in our community but just all communities altogether within New York City. And so it was something that is it became the baby of my agenda. Well, one of the babies. I have a lot, and just not to see it go, and it was being underutilized and also causing environmental pollution, in itself, because of the runoff of the dirt and things like that into the Bronx River. So we are trying to make sure we don't lose it, but at the same time, make sure we don't hurt our environment.
If I'm going to share my screen for a sec, I can show you where it is.
Thank you, Matt.
Wrong one. Right here. So here's Bronx Boulevard. This is Gun Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
If you see my mouse moving. And there's the Bronx River Parkway. So it is just south. And I'll zoom out slowly so you could see. This is the area right here.
Okay, Bronx Boulevard. Yeah.
You could see these. You could see these dirt tracks where it's all dirt. Okay. So as I zoom out, you could see the section.
It's pretty cool. So it's like these ramps and these dunes and these and it looks like something you would have for like maybe a bike, but it's for remote control cars. And they would do these races there. It's pretty. I love it. I love to. I've never participated in it, but I love being able to drive by in my community and seeing it utilized. All right.
What's the problem? There's no funding to fix it up.
No. So what the issue is that it was being underutilized, and then so there was lack of upkeep from the community, and also there was runoff of dirt that was going into the Bronx River because it wasn't. How would you, Matt? Help me out on the terminology.
It's part of a floodplain. Sorry, get that out right. It's part of the Bronx River floodplain and part of its official bank. And when you have a lot of silt deposits that are as part of the top of the track, all the dirt area, it's clay and silt. When you have high rain events, that runoff takes and deposits silt particles into the Bronx River. So it falls under regulation in its proximity and location according to Department of Environmental Conservation laws and guidelines, which is the state environmental laws.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that has any pressing issues on anything?
Matt, I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'm here. Ask all your questions.
Okay. John Isaac, you want to go ahead first and then I'll go after?
Well, this is a question for Matt. Matt, I work for DEP for the Green Infrastructure Program, and we have been like cut drastically because of the pandemic, and we're not even allowed to bring seasonal staff on. So essentially, we have like 4,000 rain gardens that we have to clean with like 30 people, right? We're gonna be dependent on our stewards, like neighborhood organizations and groups like that. Do you need for the community board to be advocates for you guys to get more people involved and help you guys out with the plans? That's just asking.
We're in the same situation. I don't know what our seasonal picture looks like for 2021. 2020, there was no seasonal picture. There was no seasonal staff. So we had to rely on that. So part of this area is associated, all of Bronx Park, which is all the properties that butt up against the Bronx River, is associated with the Bronx River Alliance. So they're the primary organization. They partner with parks, but through them, they go out and they do most of the work to reach out, put together volunteer programs, volunteer groups to help take care of areas, to be stewards of certain locations on a regular basis.
Okay,
so
great.
Yeah, we're going to be relying upon it just as much as you guys are, because I don't know what 2021 looks like for our seasonal budget, if there even is one.
Yeah. So Ivan, we could probably, just go around to different parks and probably have like cleanup days.
We can do that. We need to come up with some type of coalition that actually does that, such as the gentleman that shared tonight.
Yeah.
And not go on record. So Ms. Bond, if you can make note of that we want to reach out to him to see how we can help him out as much as possible.
Yeah.
Well,
he's specific to Van Cortlandt Park.
Right, to Van Cortlandt Park.
And so there's areas that are specific to other areas of the park that are already established.
All right. So
Renee Patterson is there for Seton Falls. We have
right. He's also done. That's what I was going to say. He's also come out and I know he's helped out with Seton Falls as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just trying to utilize the knowledge and how to get things moving forward. Excuse me. Is there anybody else that has anything that they want to share?
I have a question from that.
Oh yes, go ahead, Ms. Bond.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Someone wants to say something.
You wanted to speak. Who's this?
Hi, this is Ms. Baez, Adriana Baez. How are you? Good evening.
Hi,
Ms. Baez. Ms. Baez, I'll let you go right after me. I just have a question from Matt, and then I'll
hear from you, Ms. Baez. Go ahead.
Okay, great. My question is for
Ms. Baez. Let me just have Ms. Bond just ask a question real quick, and then you're right up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Bond.
Yes. Matt, there used to be garbage pails located. I think the metal garbage pails located on Marola Place between Bola and Pratt, but see that they've been taken away. Is there any way that they can be replaced?
Not right now. When we put those garbage pails out there, it increased our illegal dumping probably by 4 or 5 times.
Right. Well, what's happening now, and I totally understand that we have a lot of issues in that area with dumping.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is because of the COVID, we have people that come by and they drive by, and that's a destination for them to like kind of chill out, hang out for a bit.
Sure.
And
Where did everybody go?
cold, not as much, but and they they throw their trash, but there's no garbage pail. Even if someone else in the community wanted to clean up, unless you bring in your own garbage bag, you're not going to be able to clean up.
Yeah, and it's a problem that it's a very real problem, and I can't tell you I have a specific solution that will please everybody that's in hear the sound of my voice. The problem is if we put it, and we've tried this, and I'm telling you, I have a PhD in behaviors around garbage depositing in the Bronx. If we put out more garbage pails, it attracts more illegal dumping. It's just, that's what happens. It's not specific to Seton Falls Park. It's every part of the Bronx as I talk with my colleagues. So that's, I know it doesn't make sense probably from your end, but that putting out more garbage cans isn't necessarily a solution. Solution is we just have to get over there to pick it up more often as people deposit it. When you look at garbage in parks, when people come to our parks, most of the time they don't bring garbage. The active park goers, when they enter New York City Park, don't bring garbage with them. And so we have receptacles that we want to be able to allow for people when they come and have a picnic or stuff like that. But at the levels of garbage that gets deposited is not normal, and it's all being brought in. So I'm trying as best as possible to increase our staff getting over there to service those areas. And that area is on one of my it's up as a hot list for sites within my management area as being it's been a local problem of late. So we're aware of that spot.
Matt, for sharing that. Appreciate your transparency. Although it's disheartening for us to hear, but at the same time, the transparency is extremely appreciated. Thank you. Is there anybody else? Yes, go ahead.
Hi.
No, wait. We were gonna go with
Ms. Baez.
Yes.
Yes. I'm Ms. Baez.
Hi. So Ms. Bond, I'm so glad you actually mentioned that, because I know there was a few cleanups in the summertime, and even after. I know I saw some other community members or neighbors picking up and putting bags. Matt I remember when I sat down and you expressed that to me, I was like, why? You know, like it doesn't make any sense to me. But I saw it happen when you put in the bin. People were throwing out more of their personal stuff, their actual recycling trash that wasn't there. So I saw it and I see what you're saying. My only thing is that I was like, well, if there's any way that we can put anything to bring awareness, I took it upon myself to hang the black bags on the rails if I could, expose it out to people, because I have seen people idling on that main street or whatever. And what they do, instead of taking the additional 10 steps to go to the bin, they'll just throw their trash that is inside their car on the floor, and that over time gets polluted. So in addition to what Ms. Bond was saying, I wanted to know if I would need permission to continue to put the black bags there and signage or not. I know I saw personally at Riverdale, Van Cortlandt Park, the coalition, that they had a huge mess over the summertime and fall with a lot of foot traffic and a lot of trash. And what they did is that they actually put a bold signage that says, throw your trash here. Like, it's in big bold letters. You can see it from a mile away and from literally up front, up close. I think it has helped. I'm not sure if it's in the budget or if you need a donation. I'm not really sure, but if there's anything that we can do to kind of gear in some type of proactive, progressive direction to each one teach, one inform, not just verbally, but by somehow. I know it takes a lot, but something. But I also wanted to ask what, with the, in regards to the cleanups, with, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Partnering up with the other coalition, would we have to request like a permission or something beforehand, or request a date and time with you, or can we just kind of figure it out on our own, set a date and time, and then just do the cleanups on our own?
Yeah, if you pick like a time that you want to do it every week, we could give you a permit, and you could go through my permits office, and then you'd have that ability to get the permit and tell people and do your cleanup. As far as me limiting people on cleanup, you don't even have to do that. I'm not going to limit anybody who's going to help out and clean parks, as we are so understaffed and we're undergiven the amount of resources as in other agencies. So if you organize, as in some other groups are and have, we could even help outfit you with boxes of bags and stuff like that to help clean the properties. But if you're going to grab a bunch of people and go do it yourself, by all means, you could do that whenever you want. And if you collect a bunch of bags, if you use just personal bags, you tie them all up, you put them in a location. I think you have my email. You just shoot me an email and I'll tell you where to leave them, and we'll come by and get them, on the next day or later that day, depending on whenever it is. So you just got to communicate with me, communicate with myself. If you ever see any uniform staff around there, you could always flag them down too, and just let them know that, you've done some cleanup and you have bags here. We'll pick that up. So I don't want to deter anybody from volunteering to make these properties look better.
Appreciate that. Okay. And thank you, Ms. Baez, for sharing.
You guys pick it up. We'll get rid of it.
All right. Anybody else? Anything that they would like to celebrate or share concerns?
I have something I'd like to say.
Okay, go. Is this Ms. Patterson?
This is Ms. Patterson.
All right.
First of all,
I see you, Mr. Figueroa. I see you. Hey, Ms. Patterson.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'd like to tell Adriana and especially Hafiz, thank you very much for this summer's work with Seton Falls Park, because this summer was horrific because of coronavirus, everybody is using the parks. We always email Matt whenever we've gone out to clean. We've had a cleanup in the park since October. We had before that, August, September, October, November. We just stopped cleaning up the park in December, and you would not believe it's filthy in December. So we've been doing that. And every time we clean up the park, we email District 12 Parks to let them know where we have, stacked our trash bags. We not only email them, we send them a photo. So this is what's going on. I think you've gotten some of my emails, Adriana, but just in case you haven't gotten any of the emails, anytime you decide to clean up, or if you can come out and help us clean up, that's what the protocol is and what we've been doing. Now, my second part of my question is that Marola Place, and I'm so glad Mr. Isaacs is on this phone. We need to have alternate side of the street parking. That would help deter some of that garbage, because we have people there that they think it's a parking lot. They sit there for hours, sometimes the whole freaking day, and they have their breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there in their car. And they throw everything from their cars right onto the ground. So part of that is that we need alternate side the street parking there. I think that would be a big deterrent, because we would have the street sweeper that would clean the park, because almost on every side of our park, except for East 233rd Street, we don't have alternate side of the street parking. And we do have it on East 233rd Street. And I watched the street sweeper for 2 weeks. I went out there to watch what the street sweeper does. He only sweeps the bus stop, because he doesn't make anybody move their cars off of East 233rd Street to sweep that street. So that is why East 233rd Street is horrendous. And you can speak to Hafiz about that, because that's where we literally start to clean. Out of all the sections of the parks, East 233rd is the worst, and then Marola Place is number 2. So since Mr. Isaacs is on this phone call, we need to get together and figure out this alternate side of the street parking. And also 233rd has it, and they don't do anything to make those cars move out of the way. Cars, trucks, buses. We have somebody there that has a recording studio on East 233rd Street. So he never moves his RV. So anything we can do to make that happen, I would certainly appreciate it. And last but not least, Matt, I did look at your tracker for the fence that's supposed to go up on East 233rd Street or at Seton, all the way down from Seton Avenue down to Derima Avenue. And the tracker says 2021. Is that a true prediction that fence will finally get up for $1 million?
I believe that is accurate. The tracker has more information than I could give out here, so I'm going to go by the tracker. But I do know that particular capital project was only stalled because of COVID. It wasn't canceled. They didn't have to reallocate money from that. That's the money last I heard.
That money is allocated from what I can see on the tracker. The money's there.
Right. And so now they're just waiting for everything for this pandemic to end, lighten, because they have to. I think it still has to go. Did they get a contractor, or does it have to go out?
It has to be bid.
Yeah, so it's going to be bid. So so if it has to be bid, I would say that the best case scenario would be it going into construction at the end of 2021.
Okay. All right then. And that's the end of my questions. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. You always bring a smile to my face because you delegate before I even need to. So
there is one, if I may mention what Renee was talking about, there are cleanups. We just had a cleanup this past Saturday. It was run through our NRG group, which is Natural Resource Group. It's part of parks. And they go into Seton Falls Park and they pull invasive weeds and they pick up garbage. So you're doing a combination of weeding and garbage.
Right. Hafiz was part of that. It was Martin Luther King's birthday that they had to clean up. But we've been cleaning up since August of last year. So
they do it every month.
it's just been filthy, but that's okay. We know it's going to be filthy, but we just want, we want whatever help we can get. Because if you bring in volunteers in, they need to know that their work is worth something. And if they can't get garbage cans, they can't get bags, they can't get rakes, they can't get shovels, what's the use? That's all we're saying.
Great point.
My advice is to hook up with some of these groups that are already doing these volunteers.
Right.
Wouldn't you say that's what you would tell somebody new, Renee?
Oh, absolutely. But there's not that many groups. There's only a few groups, and especially up in the North Bronx that, that you really can get to. But National Resources Group has been very good to us in the last year or so. So, and kudos to them. And we're going to be starting our cleanups pretty soon, as long as, it gets a little bit warmer, because most people don't want to clean up in January and February.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. Thank you so much. So with that being said, we are blessed to have Brother Isaac here. Can you make note of that we need to collaborate on that alternate side parking? I'm not a fan of alternate side parking, but I think Ms. Patterson is on the right track as far as a deterrent. I believe Ms. Baez would agree. As well as our parks manager, Matt Doron. All right, so moving on from that, is there anybody else that wanted to speak? I believe I had Mr. Figueroa. Did I get you yet? All right, if go ahead, you have the floor.
Thank you, guys. Just a quick question. Is there anything in the horizon to maybe utilize some of the parks within of the confinements of Community Board 12 to use it for overnight camping?
No, if that's so. We can put that as one of our goals. Would you? Is that something that you want to see as an activity, or?
Well, I think they do it sometimes in Orchard Beach, and a lot of people go to it, but it's only particular people that go to it. I think it'll probably be something good to probably look into if it's doable.
What I'm asking is, do you see it as something as an activity, or do you see it as something as like a protocol in case numbers rise due to COVID?
I think it's more like an activity to me personally, I like going camping.
Okay.
There's nowhere here to go camping, so I got to go up to Beaver Pond or Lake Welch up there. But again, maybe something to look into. Maybe a lot of people will want to come out and stay over in, say, Cedar Fort Parks or Shoelace Park or Van Cortlandt Park by Woodlawn. There's a lot of nice parks up here.
I think that's an amazing idea post COVID. Speaking for myself right now, COVID has me on edge every day with numbers rising, and then the contradiction of our safety measures. It's just I don't know what to say other than pray for everybody's health. I love the idea.
All right, cool.
To be the bearer of bad news, but you can't camp in parks, and I don't see it happening where we're going to change it anytime soon.
The reason why there's no camping in parks?
Because it'll just you'll see 10,000 tents in parks.
Yeah,
you're not going to see one. You're not going to have the camping like what you described that you like to do up in off of Seven Lakes Drive up in Harriman State Park. That's different. This is New York City. There's 8 million people. There's 1.4 million people in the Bronx. If camping is allowed, you will see tents everywhere. Not only will you see just people camping, you're going to see homeless in tents everywhere. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. Fairly safe to say. Now, we do have organized camping.
That's what I was asking. That's what I was going to ask.
That are run.
Urban park rangers.
Correct. Correct. Urban Park Rangers.
And where
have
does their
specific
organized
camping.
Where does their camping take place?
It takes place in Pelham Bay Park generally.
Beach, yeah.
So I'm just trying to, I mean,
that makes sense because Pelham Bay Park is a bigger park compared to Seton Falls.
Yeah, I mean,
go to their website. They have a website. Go to the Parks Department website and pull down Urban Park Rangers.
All right.
Maybe we can entertain it at lower numbers. I'm always willing to push the bar. And I get it though, Matt. I don't want to open up the floodgates to anything negative either.
You're talking about policy changes that go way beyond just Community Board 12. So, if that's something that you want to pursue, I'd say first off, start by having a conversation with Urban Park Rangers. I can invite them to this meeting.
Yes. So, Ms. Bond,
I really don't want to get you excited about the idea.
No, we're not. No.
You're reading between the lines.
That's what I want to bring. I mean, especially for goals. So, Mr. Figueroa, thank you for sharing that, because if we're trying to beautify and celebrate our community, what better than to do that with new and innovative ideas.
It's a thought. I mean, we could speak with the Parks Rangers and see what they have, and maybe go over to Pelham Bay Park, or it's just a thought. Just to get the kids out the house. I mean, these kids have been stuck in these houses. I know we've been stuck here for a year. You know what I'm saying? We haven't gone nowhere, but
right.
Camping up in Beaver Pond. But definitely, again, something to just look at. If it's possible, fine. If not, we'll continue doing what we do.
Renee Patterson reaches out to the Urban Park Rangers every year, and she does wilderness walks through Seton Falls.
I've done them there. They're beautiful.
Yeah. Alfredo has been there. Alfredo, the Urban Park Rangers does have a program where they do camping, because I've been part of the program before. So we had the Boy Scouts out about 10 years ago in that program. So they do have one. I don't know what they're going to do because of coronavirus, but they do have a program, and they usually have it in Pelham Bay Park. Now, maybe if we get enough kids, who knows, or we organize it, they might come to Seton Falls Park. But they do have a program, so you can check that out, and see where we stand with that. Okay, because I've done it before. We had the Boy Scout troop that we took over to Pelham Bay Park.
All right. So much. Anybody else have anything that they would like to celebrate, or anything pressing?
Hi, this is Hafiz. I had a question about the rain gardens.
Okay.
Is that the proper term?
That's DET.
I could answer those.
Go ahead, Mr.
So I know the Parks Department has their Super Steward program, which I'm a part of, and we are actually working with Jason Stein over in that department to get more of our volunteers at Van Cortlandt Park trained to do trail maintenance work with them. And so Super Stewards also have their Tree Cares program. But is there any special training for what to do for rain gardens, and what would we need to teach our volunteers to be able to volunteer to help clean them up or manage them?
There is a special training, and we have a community coordinator. I have her information right here with me. I could put it in the chat. You could just let her know that you have a group and you would like to become a steward, and she will come out and literally train you. They'll actually give you tools, rakes, grabbers, vests, the whole.
Thank you.
So there is a special training for it.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac, because I will not be able to answer that question right here tonight. Thank you.
Do you want me to put the information in the chat?
Please put that in the chat, please.
Please, so I can capture it as well.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bond.
All right. Is there any more questions for Parks? Otherwise, I'll bow out till next month.
Yes, go ahead. I'm going to close it out in a second. Okay, thank you so much for being here, Matt. And wanna just express my appreciation for you. I know we don't always see eye to eye, but sometimes you see the forest past the trees. Through your experience, I want you to know that I share similar experiences. I'm also a union chapter chair. So, sometimes you just know these things. It's not about you being negative or anything like that. You just, what is the usual outcomes. And I appreciate your transparency, but we need that. And that's why we're here, right? We're here to push you, and you're here to push back, and for us to make progress at the end of the day. So I just want to thank you so much for everything that you do for Community Board 12.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
I'm putting the information up in the chat, guys. So give me a second.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
John.
right, thank you.
I just want to, I guess I'll still leave it open until John Isaac shares that information. But again, I want to acknowledge everybody that's here tonight, everybody that tuned in, everybody that contributes, and just tell you how much we are all appreciative of you. It's been a very challenging year, to say the least, and it's it's a shame that all the work that we've done hasn't been heard to the degree that in my personal opinion, that I would like. As far as being able to report, nevertheless, we've never given up, and we're still doing our due diligence and doing the best that we can for our community. That's my final statement for tonight. Is there anybody else? Other than, I do want to acknowledge one of our other community board members who has tuned in, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, I got something I could talk about.
Okay, 1 second. I was just going to introduce Claire, because it's always good to see a fellow board member in our meetings.
He's a Knicks fan. You shouldn't even bring him on.
All right, Mike, you got 10 seconds to clap back. All right, John, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to tell you too. You kill it. I can put the information for Roe Samaka on the chat. Couple spelling errors, but if you can't get in contact with her, just tell her that I give you her number. I've been trying to get them out here. Probably I could have her on the next meeting to talk about the rain gardens and what it is we do with the rain gardens. I haven't been too much involved with the parks, even though I'm a park designer and landscaper or whatever. But anything that you guys need, you could always reach out to me and I could get it for you.
Awesome. Check on my fence. Check on that fence at East 233rd.
Now I know what it is I want to talk about. We were approached by a couple of the board members. We lost a lot of people, members of this community through the COVID, and they were looking for a place to have like a memorial, and we came up with this idea that we should have like probably a memorial garden where, and a memorial garden could be as simple as just having a reflective area where someone could sit down with a garden and a bench and just remember the people that died. So, that's something that we could think about, and, a place of reflection, because we lost a lot of people up here, man.
Ms. Bond, can you make a note of that for our next meeting on our agenda? So
yes, Memorial Garden.
Placement, right? So anybody that's still here with us, think about these placements so that we can discuss. I already have ideas off the top of my head. So but again, we'll address that the next time. So that could be one of our goals. So we have our goals, just to recap. We have a goal to address the RC Park. We have a goal to collaborate on the commemoration of COVID-19 people that fell due to COVID-19. Anything else, Ms. Bond?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. So right there, so we have that. And also to entertain, to think about Mr. Figueroa's idea with the camping, right? Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
I'm sorry. I'm on 2 calls. Sorry.
No worries, brother.
Same time.
No worries at all.
Trying to multitask here. Hello, everyone.
No worries.
My apologies.
No worries.
I got scolded by the treasurer.
No worries.
To answer. So I'm sorry.
No worries. All right. Anybody else?
This is Steve again. I just wanted to let folks know that I dropped the website for Van Cortlandt Park Alliance in the chat, along with my email if anyone needed to contact me or get more information about our volunteering or any other questions that anyone would have for me. Just feel free to copy that email from the chat.
Thank you so much, and thank you for attending.
I did the same too.
All right, the last thing, because I have my, everybody's important, but I have my important people here still. The last thing, right, absolute last thing, is they want to conjoin. There's the idea and I have to put it out there, right, just in case if it comes up in tomorrow's meeting. They want to entertain the idea of conjoining committees. I'm at liberty to express my opinion, as you all are, and to say that I do understand that we want to shorten our meetings because they are quite lengthy, but I don't know if that would be conducive as to all the information and things that we go over. Just tonight was, I was anticipating a half-hour meeting, and this is nearly running over an hour and 15 minutes, which is one of our shorter meetings. So I just want to hear from you really quickly as far as what are your thoughts on conjoining committees, especially since I have, we have people here from our community board.
I'll start. Me, myself, as you guys know, we don't really do too many public safety committee meetings. Okay. Sometimes when I do them, I do them with John, with his transportation committee. Me personally, I don't mind combining it with John's, maybe with John's committee or Judith Benitez committee, stuff that has to do with the community and public safety. Yeah. Again, certain committees have to maintain on their own because it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't. Some do, but some don't. They just don't.
I appreciate the honesty. Anybody else?
I actually think it's a good idea that, there are certain areas in the committees that overlap with each other. Like there might be, Alfredo takes care of his issues with public safety, and there might be issues in the park that might have to do with public safety that he might be helpful, like lighting and, security. And even with the capital projects, a lot of projects that we're doing right now link towards the parks. Like the big issue with the bike lanes on White Plains Road, that's all geared towards Shoelace connections to Shoelace Park.
Right.
And that's a capital project.
So I know more or less myself and you, John, we have to work together on a lot of projects. So I'm blessed enough that I have about 3 or 4 chairs in my meeting. Now I have to reciprocate that gesture and go to your meetings and show support. So I thank you again for being here tonight. But with that being said,
I love the idea that we could actually go virtually and you could stay in the convenience of your home, because I get to me personally, I attend a lot of meetings that I haven't even been to before. I mean, before the virtual meetings, I haven't even come out to your meeting before. But because they're virtually, I mean, if there's certain issues that you might have to meet, yeah, we'll meet. But I love the idea that we could come and meet virtually. I think you're getting more of an audience from the community. You know, look how much people came on tonight. It's amazing.
Right. Right. So, okay. Anybody else? I have other chairs in here. All right. So with that being said, I'm just trying to put things, food for thought. So right now we're nearly up at an hour and a half. Usually my meetings run from an hour and a half to 2 hours. Right. So normally, I would ask somebody like yourself, John.
Yes, sir.
How long do your meetings normally last?
It depends. The last one I had, it lasted 15 minutes.
Really?
And that was just we're actually gonna vote on it tomorrow night, but we're going to try to add the name Ludi Brown to the intersection of Kingsland and I forgot the name of the street over there, but
okay,
she was a community activist, and so it was a no-brainer. She did a lot for the community, and everyone was in favor of it. It was a memorial to this lady. So, but you might have a meeting where you might have pressing issues, or more conflicting issues, I should say, and things that people need to talk about. So, it depends.
All right. So, all right. Anybody else? What is their take on their meetings and how long they last? I know we have, we just had, we had Ms. Dickerson. She's the chair. Mike, are you a chair of any committees?
No, I'm John's,
my assistant.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
He's my point guard.
So again, I'm not campaigning or anything like that. This is more for us, so that this way we are privy to something that's going to be brought up and probably tomorrow as far as our committee meetings. Also, then that would change our bylaws of selecting chairs, and so on and so forth. And also, I mean, it would be also an issue of changing our bylaws of voting for chairs as opposed to being appointed. So it's just something for us to think about, and just food for thought. You heard it here first, as they say.
I don't think you vote for the chairperson of the board, but
no, you don't. That's what I'm saying. So there's potentially what will happen, John.
Yeah.
Is it will come to a vote to change our bylaws that you would. So inevitably, if you break down if you break down or you combine these committees, it would have to change the bylaws. And that would being said, potentially, then you would have to change the bylaws for chairs to be voted for. Right. So this is why, this is my last piece. And it's just food for thought.
I think the chairperson appoints the person for the committees.
Yes, he does. Or he or she, that they have, as of right now, the bylaws say that they appoint. But as far as the combining, the chair, I don't believe the chair has the jurisdiction to do so. Right? Once they're established. Hey, Ms. Dickerson.
Ms. Dickerson. We can't hear you.
Okay, so I'm a little. I think I know where you're going, Ivan, but I'm a little confused because I am on the bylaws committee.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Dickerson.
And I've never heard this before.
No, same thing for me.
Yeah, we never brought this up in a meeting. So wait. So what I'm getting is that this is something that you're thinking of now.
No. So let me clarify.
It's never been brought up in our committee.
No. Let me clarify. In order for us as a community board, in order for us to make any decisions, it would have to go through bylaws, right? For us to make any changes, it would have to go through bylaws. So if we combine committees, it would potentially go through bylaws. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So if that happens, potentially what would happen is you would also then change how you appoint. I said potentially, right? And I am being recorded, so I'm sure George is going to go over this or whoever, and that's fine, right? Listen, I'm. This is why I'm having a discussion. So if there's something that I need to be educated on, then so be it. It's just for us to think about. So potentially, what we would have is a change in the bylaws for instead of being appointed by the chair, it would be entertained, voted on as far as chairs being chairs being appointed by the board. So it's just something to think about, because now you are changing, what was established. That's all. And
Okay, gotcha.
I'm sure there's technicalities and above my pay grade.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
No, okay, that's what I thought. I thought I was first under the impression that you were saying this is something that we had discussed and we're
No.
right. No. Okay,
Listen, I'm a forest past the trees kind of guy.
I think the big amendment is that, if there are a lot of people that are on the board that don't show up, and we're going to start removing people that's on the board that's not showing up.
It's on the agenda. It's on the agenda for tomorrow.
Yes, that's messing up our vote. Like when it comes time for us to vote on issues and we don't have a quorum, that's a big problem right now.
Yep.
So that's the number one thing that we're going after.
All right. So it was just that was my last food for thought. That was my Jerry Springer food for thought moment. All right. And with that being said, do I have a motion to close out the meeting?
Motion to close out the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Remember? Second. Denise Bond, second.
Second.
All right, guys, it was great. It was great seeing you guys.
Okay. I don't want you to lecture. Okay. All right. It has to deal with the genealogy of racism.
That's someone watching a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, say, whoa.
I've been trying to watch that TV show too. That's the one where they do that.
Asking you that question, I was like, what? I was like,
that's the one where they do the family tree in the background and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I don't know who was watching
guys, it was great seeing you. Thank you, everything.
Good night.
Is Jerry saying bye? Oh, saying bye.
Hey, Alfredo.
All right, bye. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow. Same bad time. Let's go. Have a good one.
Okay.
Alfredo, put some clothes on this time. Put some clothes on.
Thank you.
That's what I saw on January 6th. And understanding that when you referred to
proper masking, mitigation procedures so that we